Hello, my lovelies. Today's the 6th of January 2026, and it is known as the Feast of the Epiphany, and the date allegedly where the Three Magi arrived in Bethlehem, having been guided by a star or a comet in the heavens to the birthplace of the baby Jesus. So these three men were astronomers, astrologers, alchemists, magicians, magi, the word magi coming from the word magician. And the bringing of these gifts to this brand new babe. So looking at the symbolism of this day, 6 is a number associated with love, with harmony, with balance, so the 6th of January. But then when you add the 6 and the 1 plus the 10, it comes to the number 8. And the energy of 8 is to do with material satisfaction on the 3D level. But when you turn the 8 on its side, it becomes what is known as a symbol of infinity. It is also known as the lemniscate, and that's from the Latin word which means decorated with ribbons. So you can see the energy of it, infinity. It just doesn't stop. It has no beginning and it has no end. But right in the centre is known as the 0 point. So, as I said in my previous video about 2026 being a 10 year and not dismissing the 0 point is in the centre of this symbol. And the number 3, so we have the 3 wise men, or magi, or kings, and 3 is associated with the joy of living and expression. So how you express yourselves with joy, or not, as the case may be. So the lack of joy in our lives can be misery, can be feeling you're stuck in victim mode. But the energy of this day is about joy. It's about finding a way. It's also about asking the way. So in the story of the 3 magi, wise men kings, they called in to see a chap called King Herod, because they had seemingly lost their way. And King Herod was not too pleased about knowing there was this child being born and the connotations associated with it, because he had heard predictions about what this child would become. Anywho, he gave directions to the 3 magi where to find Bethlehem and said, oh, by the way, pop in on your way back and we'll have a nice little drinkies and a chat and you can tell me all about it. However, these 3 people were pretty canny and they used discernment and they did not return on their way back. They didn't pop in to see King Herod at all. They thought, no, he's not a cool dude. We'll just bypass that and go elsewhere. So the essence of this energy is, if you are asking the way from somebody else, be discerning about the directions given and by whom. Do not return to a person, situation, if it feels off. And this is also an indication that when you're asking the way, rather than it being external, it should come from within you. So your instinct, your gut instinct, your intuition, your knowingness of which way to go. And if you do need an external sign. It could be in the heavens. It could be that it's coming from out there, but it could be guised in another person or something that you witness. It could be an animal crossing your path. I've had 2 pheasants on 2 separate occasions crossing my path from right to left. One literally jumped up over the bonnet of my car, and the pheasant is about the joy of living, the dance of life. If it's coming from the right, then it's coming into your life. If it's coming from the left, then it's leaving your life. So then again, with the symbol of infinity, when you put it on its long ways, it is a circle over a circle, or a 0 over a 0. Do not dismiss the zeros. And so therefore there's this energy of, as above, so below. 0 over 0, heaven to earth, with a 0 point in the centre. So the energy of the heavens coming down to earth. So us grounding, manifesting, bringing into existence those things which are at the moment in the etheric or in spirit. So when we breathe in, it's called inspiration. In spiritus, with spirit. When we breathe out, it's called expiration. So letting go of those things that we've held on so very tightly to. So breath work, very good for you. Now we're leaving the energy of the wood snake on the 17th of February, but we've still got it around us. So for some of us, it's pretty heavy, it's pretty exhausting, and making your sense of reality blow a fuse in a way, because what you've known as reality may be completely disintegrating. Also, the snake represents the kundalini, so that energy that sits curled at the base of your spine. And with spiritual practice, or not, as the case may be, some people have spontaneous kundalini rising. So the energy rises from the base of the spine all the way up and out through the top of your head. It also represents the chakra system. So the base of the spine, the colour red, is to do with our survival, our tribal energy, basic instinctual energies. Another phrase came to mind about snake oil salesman. So as we've got another 5 or 6 weeks of the wood snake energy, again about being discerning. Who comes into your life? What are they offering? If they come in physically, if they come in online, if they're on social media and they offer you a solution to your problems, your situation, be very discerning. Be very, very discerning. So snake oil salesmen were around in the early part, well, probably forever, but they would offer you they were travelling salesmen, so they would offer you a remedy, or they'd call it a herbal tincture, in a bottle, and say take 3 drops of this 3 times a day and it'll cure your hair loss, it'll cure your skin conditions, it'll cure this, that and the other. And of course it was just water with a bit of some colouring in it, and that's how they made their money, and they fooled the people. So snake oil salesman, just be aware that this is gearing up, this is being thrown at you in the winter sales. So the New Year sales, just be aware that all of these things that are on sale, 70% off, etc., might just be the snake oil salesman cashing in on our gullibility, our need to find something outside of ourselves to fix whatever we think is wrong. Now, the word Epiphany. So these three magi had an epiphany, and it comes from the Greek epi, E-P-I. You've heard of an EpiPen, ghastly things which people with allergies will stick into themselves. So epi means above, upon, near to, in addition. And the phany bit, P-H-A-N-Y, means appearance or manifestation, and it's again from the Greek. It means I shine, I appear, and divine manifestation. So the energy of today is about manifesting. So something again from above, manifesting into below, into our now, into our physical, material lives. And the symbol of infinity is a unity of physical and spiritual realms. So because this has no beginning and no end, when we embrace this energy, it brings us into a unity. So those things that are physical are united with those things that are spiritual. So as above, so below, bringing heaven to earth. It's an interconnectedness of opposites and limitless potential. So there you are, my lovelies. That's the energy of the 6th of January, 2026. To infinity and beyond. And the gifts brought to us from the heavens, from the universe. So opening our hearts, opening ourselves up to receiving all of these good things, because you deserve it. You've worked very hard for it. And just be discerning about the snake oil salesman, because what you receive, if it's cheap as chips and there's a bit of sliminess to it about the selling of it, then it is not for you. So there you are, my lovelies. 6th of January 2026, the Epiphany. Thanks for watching. See you again. Bye.